that's got you where you are today. And there is one more thing that you have mentioned in a couple of your speeches is the power of thoughts. You mentioned that in the ET Ideas camp, you actually learn about the power of thoughts, about conscious and subconscious, on how you should be responding, not just reacting. Can you elaborate a bit on the power of thoughts, Harsha?
Okay, I think that if I elaborate too much on this, we will run out of time and we'll have to do a series of it. But very briefly, I've always been someone who loves science. So even as like that 11-year-old kid, I would read books about quantum physics, I'd read books about space and about all of these things. And I'm going to be honest, now that I think about it, I probably didn't understand half of what I was reading. But it's always fascinated me. And when I went to ET Ideas, when I first heard about them, the founder of ET Ideas, Ilungo Tiago, he used to give these kind of like talk shows, something like this, but offline. And he would always share about how what you learn can translate into your day-to-day life. So it was no point, like for me personally at that point of time, just reading about something, even if it's quantum physics or things like that. But you need to apply it in your day-to-day life. And at that point of time, I didn't really understand what it was. Yes, like I've heard about things like law of attraction, where your thoughts think about something continuously and it gets into you. I've heard about things like your thoughts create your reality. That's all things that I know, but I've never really experienced it. Because sometimes you think about something and it comes true. Sometimes it doesn't. I always thought it's just like that lah. But when he actually explained it in a way that I could understand, where as your thoughts focus on something, and as you really, really focus on it, you create that gravitational force that attracts it to you. That in a way, just like things like how the planets rotate, just like how atoms work, when something has that gravitational force, it attracts the resources and the things needed for it to kind of like come into being. And that concept that my own conscious thought could really affect the world around me was something that amazed me. But I also was a bit confused because I told him, if this is the case, then how come like not everything in my life is happening like this? Like how come I'm not like immediately attracting ice cream manifest, things like that? No. But one of the things that he also said is, yes, your thoughts are powerful, but you are only aware of what you are consciously thinking, like 2% of what your entire capacity is. There's a big part of you that is run by your subconscious mind, your habits, the way you're used to living, and things like that. So it was not just enough to understand what your thoughts are and get those thoughts to attract things, but it was also important to kind of like reprogram your subconscious mind, the things inside of you that you don't even know about. And how to reprogram the subconscious mind, he said it will only happen through experience, through going through situations and being aware, am I responding? That means, am I actually thinking about something and doing this? Or am I just reacting? Is this a habit for me to react this way? And understanding that and neutralizing it in everyday day-to-day situations. And once you kind of like reprogram your subconscious mind, or to a certain extent, that would help you attract the things that you need for you to achieve whatever you're thinking about. So for me, that's kind of been the basis. Again, I'm not the best person to talk about this. This is just from my 2% experience. But I really started learning this when I set my first goal. So my first goal at that point of time was, because I was 11, don't judge me. My first goal was to actually get a scholarship to go study at an international school for my secondary education. And when you're 12, 11, there isn't really much scholarships available. And it was considered a very weird thing to do. But I wanted to learn about different cultures, different people. So I thought, okay, this is my goal. I want to achieve this goal. So when I came to him and I said, okay, I have a goal, that's when he said, okay, now you can learn about power of thoughts. Because if I teach you about it before this, you will just know about it, but you'll never apply it. So at that moment, the first thing I did was have that goal, repeat that goal, think about it every day, work on it every day. And slowly I did start seeing the resources that I need to being kind of like attracted to me so that I can achieve that goal. So yes, that's what I mean by power of thoughts, not just what you're thinking, but how you react and respond in a way, or what's inside of you that you don't know.
I think it's also very, very interesting that your mentor said that only by the time you find a certain purpose or goal that you want to achieve, that is the only time where you can actually apply what you have learned on the power of thoughts. It's very similar to what Martin Luther King has once said, right? You don't have to see the whole staircase, you just have to take the first step. And upon taking the first step, the resources will come to you, just like how it has been in your story.
Yeah, I would say exactly.
Let us answer. Yeah,